Well, hello everybody, my name's Dr. JD Swanson, I'm the author of Karate Science, and welcome to our 15 minutes of thought for today. So today what I want to do is I want to just do a fun drill, let's let loose a little bit, just something nice and relaxed to loosen the body up, and I'll give you a couple of pointers as we sort of think through. This particular drill brings together several points that we've thought about over our time in sort of this series. So what I'll do is I'll point to them sort of throughout the video as we go. So let's just have a little bit of fun. Before I start, this particular drill was stolen, of course. It came off Sensei David Jones, a phenomenal karate instructor from ISKF Calgary. He's actually head of all of Canada for ISKF. So this is an amazing drill. I hope I can do it justice. And let's just wander through with this idea, or with some of the concepts that it covers as we go. So let's get started. Hey, us. Good, so nice and relaxed. First couple of movements, just nice and smooth. One arm comes out, making kamae. So just normal, nice and relaxed. From here, just normal chukazuki. So each, one, knee. Good, that's the first part. Easy, right? So once again, 1, 2, good. From here, just go through, just practice 1, 2, just continuously, bang, 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 just to warm up, get your body loose. Just practice 20, 30, just straight punches, just nice and soft. Think about your body center, whether you're driving your hip forward, whether you're pushing to the expansion and pushing and closing the hip, right, whichever way, but just make sure that you're not doing this sort of carry on where your hip is moving in an opposite direction to the way you're trying to hit the target. Make sure that your good body movement is there to warm up with. So give that a go, press pause. Excellent, so you've given that a go. Now let's move to the next point. So from here, our 1, 2 punches, so 1, 2. Now from here, what I want you to do is I want you to rotate round. Your right hand is going to be the punching hand, your left hand you're going to pivot on, just rotating from here, just round, whoop, punch. Then from here, coming back, just in reverse, just like somebody rewound the tape. Back, punch. So from here, as you make these steps, feel here, feel the push through the hip. Round, push. Then from here, feel coming back, rotate, push. So as you go, the key thing here is feeling as you make that first turn, feel it, turn, and drive off the leg. Feel the turn, drive off the leg. Make sure that your back, hips, body remains straight. Don't and try and turn. Keep simple, up, squeeze, turn, push, this feeling. So what I would like you to do now is just practice from here, 1, 2, now from here, turn back. Just nice and relaxed. The idea of this is it's going from the smallest movement to an extreme, that kind of feeling. Give that a go. Excellent. So you've warmed up with that, the sort of boom, 1, 2, rotate back, very good. Now from here, all I want you to do is this left foot is going to come back, it's going to cross behind, and as I go, I'm just going to feel my hip simply throw and punch, like so into Kazamazuki. Then from here, Gyakuzuki. So, from here, I've just done my second punch back. I've gone punch, punch, rotate. From here now, just feel this hip explode and expand out, in. Then slam the door shut. Here, explode, then expand. Explode and expand. We'll work on the timing then, and I'll show you some variations later. But for now, work on the simple, basic timing of turn, together. Try just that. Here, 1, 2. Here, 1, 2. Here, 1, 2. Make sure as you go, full hami. Then shomen. Right, allow the hips to open and close as they need. Check that your timing is good. Right, basic timing. Pa, pa. Then basic timing, not 1, 2. Together, together. Good, give just that section a go. Excellent. Okay, so you've practiced that. Now try the whole thing together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So from here, it becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This feeling. Once again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This feeling. Good. Give that a go. Make sure that it's ingrained in. And then we'll carry on with the last few steps. Excellent. So you've done that. Now from here, we've just gone a punch, punch. Now from here, hardest turn. You're going to come up, make haizoko, but facing 45 degrees in the opposite direction. So you're going to come up, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like so. So you're here, come up, 1, 2. So I'm simply, as I move, I simply change feet. I simply change feet. I simply change feet. The punch in haizoko is square to the front, square shomen, and then as my rear leg goes back, I go back into kazamazuki with the hips back. So if you watch here, shomen, expand, gyakuzuki, then 1, 2. We'll add in the extra punch just for fun. Okay, so let's try that last piece again. We're here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Try again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very good. So try just that piece. Turn, haizoko, kazami, gyaku, haizoko, oi. Good. Give that a go. Just that piece. And then we'll string the whole thing together. And then we'll talk about a couple of finer details for the last couple of minutes. And then some alternative timings that you may wish to use. Give that a go. Excellent. So now let's try the entire drill. 1, 2, turn, back, kazami, gyaku, haizoko, kazami, gyaku, kazami, gyaku. Or oi, sorry. Try again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Easy? Almost too easy. One more time. Think about it. Also, you'll notice I'm varying the levels with which I'm punching. That's fine. You can punch the face, the stomach. Just don't throw your arm out randomly. Punch. If you punch someone in the face, punch them in the face. If you punch them in the stomach, punch them in the stomach. Right? Allow that to happen. Allow it to go in the direction you want. So once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just like so. Good. So with that, give it a go. Rip into it. Just try just getting the movements down. Okay, and then I just want to be really clear about a couple of things, and then we'll talk about some other options as we move. So give it a go. Excellent. So the key to this is thinking about how your hips move, right? There's a lot of different and very precise hip motion in this particular drill. So really pay attention to that. When I'm here in just the static chokazuki, as you punch, right, be aware of the hip and body moving together. Allow your hip and body to move, right? Not empty, empty. Allow it to move with the technique. If you're doing the double hip thing, push, slam forward. Push, slam forward, right? Whichever way you do it, that's fine. But just make sure that you're not, one, holding these still, or two, pushing and then pulling the hip back in the opposite direction. Again, that's pointless. You're doing away with your body center motion. You want to push your center into the target. So as you go, be aware of that. 1, 2. As you do the rotation, keep your body straight, but just allow, as you step, don't think sort of round, stop, bang. If you can, just fire the punch. As you go, just fire the punch. Allow the punch and the hip and the arm to control the rotation, right? If I'm here, I don't want to be, click, because that's the same as just standing here like a dork, right? You want it to be here, oh look, rotate, push. You want the whole thing, you want the momentum of that turn to coincide with the impact of the punch. Don't disconnect them in time. So allow, as you make this turn, round, push. So that rear leg is actively pushing into the target as it goes. This is a straight expansion of the movement we were doing before, yeah? So be very aware of that. As we move to the next position, is simply feel the hip turn. It's not about the leg or moving backwards. It's about the hip simply turning in place, and the arm naturally comes out with the technique. Don't hit in place, and don't turn the hip and then back in place. So don't do this kind of carry on. Allow it to just be one expansive movement, one expansive movement through the hip, one expansive movement through the hip. Likewise, when you slam the door shut, rotate through this axis, slam the door shut, right? Don't slam it and close and then punch. Make sure together. Make sure the rear leg pushes actively into that technique, into that punch, which is what you want, yeah? So from here, allow, straight up, push. As you make the next one, allow the rotation to push. Allow the rotation to push, and then once again, push. Now off the other side, right? So allow the hip to push. Then slam the door shut. Then use your momentum up to punch. Use your momentum up to punch, then use it again. Don't as you go, step, punch, rather allow together as they drive. Also be aware of what's hami and what's shomen. Shomen. Hami, shomen, hami, shomen. But being aware in each one of those, whether it's hami or shomen, be aware that there's a driving leg. There's a drive of the hip in each technique. And be aware that the punch is behind that, or is coming along with that drive. So with that, give the whole drill a go. Be very precise in where your hips are and the timing of your technique. Give that a go. Excellent. So you've got that wonderful timing now down. The next thing to think about is how to now discombobulate, how to sort of break the timing a little bit. And you can do this at certain points in this drill, right, where it becomes useful. So as you do the technique, the rule of thumb must always be that your body center needs to be moving towards the target, right? That's when you want to hit, right? So as you hit, don't feel, there should never be a point where your arm's going out and your center's moving backwards. Otherwise it's like punching like this. It's always got to be going in and then to hit the target. So as you make it through this particular set, there's a couple that are kind of goofy, and I'll point those out. But what you can do is you can alter the timing and alter the position and actually steal from kata to help sort of build this up. So our first couple of movements are really about just making sure our timing's there. The first tricky one is this kazamazuki. So as you make this kazami, Don't do the classic rotate and step backwards and move your body center back. Think more Jion, right? The beginning of Jion, where you don't step back into the technique, you just drop down. Have that same feeling of dropping your weight. So as you make this first technique, don't step back into the technique, rather drop it just down. Drop it down into the technique. Drop it straight down. Just drop over your heel. The second thing is also use as your rotational axis. Try and keep your center, try and rotate, not off this back hip, you can't because it's not anchored, but as you drop, try and keep as if somebody stuck a stick up your bum. Have that feeling of rotating around that axis. So as I go, wherever my stick is, as I make that, how I'm thinking is I'm almost trying, now it's going to move obviously because I need to move over my center, but the feeling I want is to move my body center as little as possible, not let it go whom all this way back, right, but rather here and rotating about the stick. Because what that will do is that means this half of my body, which has weight, is now driving forward into the target. So rather than rotating about this axis, like so, right, I'm rotating about this axis. If I rotate through my center, it actually pushes the stick forward slightly within my technique. And that's what I want to do. That's how I want it to feel. So as I drop down, I don't pom, I simply rotate about the stick, rotate about it here, and there, this position. The other thing you can do if you're bored is that you can actually make the Kazami feeling in the hip earlier than the back foot lands here. So notice my timing, the technique's out before my foot lands, and then as my foot lands, the punch hits. I'm here, I rotate, push, I rotate. So as this foot hits, it immediately is a signal to me to close my hips and throw the Gyakuzuki. So instead of it becoming this sort of classic pom, pom, which is okay, you can now make this feeling. Here, because my center is hitting, my center hits during the spin, and then my technique hits at the end. You can play with that timing, but just before you do, you must be able to first play with these different timings. As we move through now, feel same deal, set. Now same story. You're already centered over the heel. Just simply throw this hip back. This is now, and rotate through the center. This same, don't rock back. Just rotate, rotate, rotate. Same deal as before. So you can change that timing. Then as you step, you can make a 1 and 2, or you can simply just throw as you step. So what you can do now is you can make this incredibly dynamic, right? You can make this an incredibly dynamic drill. So I'll pause here, let you play with those other pieces, and then we'll come back and talk about the last bits. Okay, so now about making it dynamic, simply think about the hips. Think about the hip drive. 1, 2, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's all natural. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can start to flow it together. And that's where you want to go. Notice when I'm trying to flow it, I dial back the power because I'm relying on my body center to be able to make the drive for me. And I want to feel that fluidity of the motion. Boom, boom. And again, I'm overemphasizing it here so that you get the idea. Boom, boom. Round, back. 1, 2. This feeling. To give it a go. So last piece. Sort of 1, 2. This feeling. So with that, I'm going to leave you there. I hope you have an awesome day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Take care. Hey, Thank you.